She's an actress.
Ah.
I've seen her films. They're not very good.
I'm afraid they're quite ill-behaved.
I always think behavior is a matter of handling.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
Mary Elizabeth, welcome back to Toronto. Scene of Scott Pilgrim like 15 years ago. So I congrats on the show as well. Amor's book, A Gentleman in Moscow, is beloved by so many readers, a bestseller for years. What was it like for you to bring this story to a whole new audience with the limited series?
It was an incredible experience. I mean, obviously the book is pretty beloved at this point. It's sort of like a new classic in terms of the way that it connected with audiences. And I think the show really captures that same energy, this sort of emotional pull, but also this sense of kind of whimsy and optimism in a very dark time. And there's something just really beautiful about the way that it weaves this story. And I think that both the book and the show are really gems.
You worked with your husband, Ewan McGregor, a few times. He's been part of, my life going back 30 years, watching him in Train Spotting, Shallow Grave. He looked like he had a great time making this. He's got a wonderful mustache. I had to tell my wife that's a real mustache. Was it fun watching him get to sort of flex his muscles in this way?
It was. It was just like such a treat to get to watch him every day and to see him dive into this role and become this man who was just like a delight to witness. I love him obviously as a person and as an actor, he's just my favorite. So to get to act opposite him and to see him kind of transform from being at home hanging out to being the Count on set was really a joy.
Your character, Anna Urbanova, has probably one of the funnest, coolest entrances that I've seen in a while in episode 2. Mary Elizabeth, where does that rank in terms of character introductions for you in your career?
It's definitely up there. I would say, I mean, thinking about Scott Pilgrim was a pretty cool one as well. Sort of rollerblading through somebody's mind is a fun introduction also. So I've gotten to have a few pretty great ones throughout my career. So I feel very lucky for that.
Gentleman in Moscow has a lot of, great themes in it, as well as great acting, and it's fun to watch. But themes about humanity, a place in the world, finding ourselves again. What kind of did you connect with the most when you thumb through this script?
Our showrunner, Ben, has kind of talked about wanting to try to capture the entire breadth of human existence in one TV show. And so I think that he really kind of covered all the bases with this. And I connected so much to it. Every day we were on set, I would feel more and more emotionally invested in what was going on with the characters and more close to the connection in my own life in terms of feelings of love and loss and ultimately, finding a family, becoming a parent in a way, and all of these things the show deals with, and I think a very complex and beautiful and true way. So obviously the scope is very large. It takes place in Russia after the revolution, and all of that is very tense, but at the core of it, the heart is very kind of pure and simple. And that's what really I felt the most connected to.
Your character's an actress. Is that easier to play for you?
It was fun. Absolutely. It was so much fun to play an actress. And just to feel I don't know, all the little kind of references that are put into the show about, in the episode where I'm introduced, I talk about talking to press all day and answering the same questions over and over again. And then, being here and doing press for it. It's kind of funny, to have those kind of relatable lines in the show or just little kind of in jokes. So I felt connected to her in that way in terms of, those funny moments and also the reality of her struggle of being an actress and the ups and downs of her career and the way that she navigates that. I felt certainly connected to that.
Talking to press all day. Okay, I don't think I've ever had a chance to ask this question. I've interviewed loads of people from the Star Wars universe, but both you and Ewan are in the Star Wars universe, and I'm wondering, how does it work with spoilers? I mean, is he allowed to tell you what's happening? Are you allowed to tell him what's happening? I've literally always wondered that.
Yeah, I think that spouses are kind of, given a free pass for these kinds of things. We're not exactly in the FBI or CIA. So I think, we're just maybe like one level below that in terms of secrecy. So spouses are given clearance, I think.
Be very careful. You are still a prisoner here.
I won't betray who I am, and neither should you.
Everything in this new world comes at a cost.
We could disappear. We could start again. This is still my